Hi, and welcome to the next episode of On the Horizon. My name is Brittany Armstrong, and this is
Leanne Stair and
Max Simmonds.
But I didn't get to first say we are so excited to have our guest with us today. The guest we have today is
Max Simmonds
Show
again.
us some excitement.
Hello.
And we hope you can hear him. Let's do a little test. Hello, hello.
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 Yeah.
he's a little
Yes.
raspy
He's
today,
a little raspy.
but
He doesn't
I think
always
it's
have
good.
that voice.
And to help you just connect dots, he is the favorite child
Yes.
of Michael and Gretchen Simmonds.
Thank you for a lot of people get that wrong. That's the
It's
thing.
not the middle child, it's the favorite child.
There you go. I love it.
So you have been around here since you were born. Before you were born even, you were here. And so you have grown up hearing the mantra to touch and change the world. As soon as you were old enough, you were, in every Horizon ministry working egg hunts and Face the Fear and Christmas Store and all of that good stuff. And so you've learned well, right, of how to do that. But how do you do that outside the walls? And I know you may be thinking, I'm so young, but no. You've had impact in the places you've gone.
So tell us where you are today. What are you doing outside of these walls?
Today, I'm in I guess I'm in a decent amount of places today. I go to Seminole State.
Okay.
I'm a freshman at Seminole State where I've got the opportunity, when I first went there, I decided to purposely live my faith out openly to these people. Because I went to a Christian school from 1st to 12th grade. I went to Circle Christian School. And that doesn't mean that everyone there is Christian and is saved, but that was the overall, that was the teachings of the school. But at Seminole State, I knew I was walking into a very different environment. So I decided to really live out my faith in a way that I hadn't truly done before.
Okay.
So
how's that going?
It's going pretty well, actually. It was the first day, weirdly enough, because the first thing that anyone asks you in college, I've learned, before even your name, is what are you majoring in?
Oh,
what are you going to do? What are you going to major in? And
the rest of your life.
yeah,
right
what's
now.
the rest of your life? I'm like, okay, hello, what's your name, by the way?
Yeah, what's wrong with culture these days? What value are you going to bring, right?
And the thing that I've wanted to major in is ministry, specifically like theology and apologetics, studying that.
Are some people like, what is that?
Yes, that's the next question that comes up is, okay, why are you at Seminole State for that, first of all, and why? Which has been a big thing. That's the first question people ask me. So I've got to share my testimony to a lot of different people. And it's opened up the door to some good conversations with people about, even someone asked me the meaning of life the other day. And I was like, well, the meaning of life for me is to go out into the world and do what God has for me, follow the plans he has for me. And that's the meaning of life. That's what fulfills your life. I also got to share, a couple of weeks ago, right after I came back from camp, I got to share the story of Ray, the little boy, and if I will give an abridged version for people that might not know. I went to my last youth camp this summer, and I met a little boy named Ray, and actually this bracelet, he has the other one. I had a black one and a brown one. He has the black one. And I gave that to him because he had so many questions about the Bible and God's Word, questions that I definitely had as a kid. He asked me, does God have a father? To which I was like, no. I had to explain to him that he always was and always will be, and his little brain kind of freaked out about that. But so does mine at that. So, and then he asked me, why do bad things happen in a world if you're telling me that this God is so good? And I had to explain to him sin and the penalty of sin, which we all deserve, but God's grace and mercy overcomes our sin. So I got to tell that story in a speech class, which was
Very cool.
which I was very nervous about because I knew I was stepping into an environment that may not be as accepting to this as I am and as the church was when I told it.
Wow.
But I got an interesting question because there was actually a girl who completely missed my speech, but she said, I heard about your topic beforehand, and I just want you to retell it to me. So I got to give her, the speech was 3 minutes. I got to give her like the 15-minute version of the story, which was really, really cool. So that's why I've been sort of sharing my faith at Seminole State, which has been awesome. And God's definitely given me a lot of opportunities that you guys have prepared me for here at the church, and that my school has prepared me for, to go out into the world and really live out who God has called me to be.
Man,
that's awesome.
Awesome, Max.
That is so cool. I think it's just amazing.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
We're speechless.
Yeah.
That has never happened.
That is not. No.
But, well, and then beyond the school, which I'm hoping to, as you were telling that, that culture is kind of taught to be hostile towards Christian things, but I'm hoping if they truly experience it, it's not as hostile as they think. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad that you have the courage.
Yeah, a lot of people see, and I was, another thing that just popped into my mind is this past summer, I did theater for, as you guys know, I did theater for a long time.
What?
I was on the stage for a long time, even though my personality doesn't scream theater kid.
It
But, but yeah, and I was in an award show, like a statewide award show for theater, and the theater world is incredibly hostile towards Christianity, especially when it comes to topics of like homosexuality, because the Bible tells you that that's a sin. Right. Of course, amongst many other things, especially people reference Romans 1, but it says that's a sin, but then it also lists like gossip later on in the chapter. But a lot of questions came to that because they asked me, this is another story that I'm just thinking of right now. They were going around talking about how they all needed therapy. And I don't have nothing wrong against therapy, but they said, who needs therapy? And everyone raised their hand, and I didn't. And they were like, what are you, like a mentally developed boy? And I was like, yeah, I am actually. And I thought that was the end of the conversation. But later that night, someone came up to me and they were like, yeah, everyone raised their hand. Why didn't you? And I said, well, it's because I guess I've had this relationship with God my whole life. And I've known my identity and I've known where I stand in the world. And she was sort of taken aback by that.
Wow.
So,
you've had some pretty powerful moments at a very young age. Wow.
I sometimes I just think about all the opportunities that God's placed in my lap. And I always say that whenever I say anything wise, it's probably not me really talking.
We know.
Because I don't really have a lot of wisdom in me. But I just try to study God's word as much as I can so that when the opportunity comes, he can take over and speak through me.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Looks like you're doing that really well. That's awesome.
So I know you have some jobs that you're doing.
I do.
So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yes. I have 2 jobs.
2 jobs?
2 jobs. Both
like your dad.
Yeah. I think he has more than 2 at this point.
He's always had like 4 or 5, I think, since I've known him.
Yeah, I work at my high school I just graduated from.
Okay.
In the theater department.
Oh, okay.
My role there is very tech-based, but also they just wanted they wanted a dude on staff, essentially. They were like, we have these boys in the theater department, and all of these girls leading it. So we want to hire you so that you can be like a good influence to the boys.
Okay.
Which I've been able to do. We've had retreats where, in the it's a Christian school, which is great because in those retreats you get to talk about how, as much as we love doing theater, there is something more to life than being on the stage and singing and dancing all the time.
Okay.
So I've gotten to go in rooms with these boys and really sort of build them up and encourage them that, theater's great and all, but the important thing is your relationship with Christ. Okay. And we've had some good conversations about that. I started a Bible study in high school that still goes on. My friend Matthew Hawk now leads it, and the people who have graduated, now we meet every Thursday evening.
Oh,
just because we're all freshmen in college now, all stepping in,
figure it out, huh?
all stepping in different environments, just trying to figure it out. So we're there to support each other and pray for each other and pick each other up. So
cool.
And my other job is at St. James Cathedral School.
Wow.
So that's been very fun. I'm a director there.
Oh, a director.
A director. I know.
The director.
I'm
director of what?
Middle school theater.
Okay.
Director, yes. My friend got me the job because he's the head of the program there. And he said, do you want a job? And I said, yes, I would. Thank you very much.
That has Sundays off, right? Yeah.
It does have Sundays off. So yeah, I'm there every Monday and Thursday, just directing kids and having a great time with them. I try, because I know not every conversation I have with everyone is going to be directly about the gospel, but I try my best to live it out in any way I can, just in my day-to-day. So it's really great. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a great job. Let's encourage you. So thank you for being here and sharing with us. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically my life. Other than my hobbies, that's my life in a nutshell.
That's awesome. Well, that's awesome.
And I forgot to mention, shame on me, that you're part of the No Name Band now.
Yeah.
With your dad and brother, and finally old enough
playing the bass,
yeah,
bass guitar.
And he rips it, man. There are some times I'm like, wow, that sounds
It's
awesome.
fun. It's fun. I'm trying to learn a bunch of different instruments right now. I know the acoustic enough. I could replace Patrick right now.
Right? Well, you kind of are.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be here today, and Max has replaced him for us. So
he is the favorite.
Will he watch this later?
Probably, yeah.
Well,
probably.
I'm sorry about that.
Just encouragement to get him.
Yes, get in here next
Yes.
time. So, well, thank you for being with us today. And there were things I didn't know. So, and if you don't know Max, you've gotten to know him a little bit better here. So seek him out on a Sunday. If you have middle school boys and want to be in theater,
Sure.
or need a mentor, here's a great guy to talk to.
Some wise words.
Yeah, if you need wise words, and then pray for him as he is on Seminoles campus and trying to be a light there and touching and changing that world. So thanks for being with us, and we will see you next time on the horizon.